So it could be a challenging environment where we know in ag, most of the commercial banks are still looking for data that can support their decision making. We do know that it's risky because of the issues of climate and stuff like that. So you need to demonstrate that if you walked into a commercial bank, potentially they would turn you away. And that is where we come in to de-risk, to catalyze with the public funding to support your business growth. And then what are the typical, how do we do this? We do deploy a challenge fund model, meaning that whenever we have an opportunity, we make a call for applications and it goes through a process of about 6 stages before we can select the best business. Our ticket sizes range between $100K to about 1.5 million. But then we always look at 1.5x as a multiplier, meaning that if your turnover today is 100K, potentially you can go for 1.5K in terms of the application, but there's flexibility depending on what we see.
And in agriculture, not having a one product that fits them all. Who is the target market? Is it the aquaculture? Is it the cereal value chain? Is it coffee? Is it? So there's this market fragmentation within the sector in itself, which can't be purely solved by the government or even private sector. So there's need for that, for them to come together and align and be able to address some of these things, including having the right policy, having the right infrastructure in place to be able to address some of these systematic issues that have existed for the longest time.
And then, for us, we can do both debt, and now we're actually exploring a lot of equity, which is not something a lot of investors offer. So I think we are able to offer those kind of solutions. And what we like to see is the typical credit story, that you're a profitable business, you have a proven business model that is offering value, and it has an impact on development as well. So I think the key thing for people to think about is just getting through that proof of concept stage, and really now trying to scale. I would say probably IFC best works when you're trying to scale, maybe even expand from your current market, or you can be expanding. Someone else said that you can either go vertically, which is up or downstream, or you can also go horizontally, expanding to other countries.
In terms of what we see in the ecosystem, given the nature of the early stage investing that we're conducting, you're really making a bet on the team. Because in a 3 to 5 year cycle, a company will pivot 3 to 5 times. So you're really betting on the tenacity of the founding team. And what we've seen is a co-founding team tends to be very better performers, and they tend to have a complementary set of personalities, but also skill sets. So we see co-founding teams performing better. And given that the nature of the conversation is around AI, what we want to see as an investor is that you've been able to validate your pain point, the pain point that you're trying to address, before layering AI from an automation perspective.
Loop's journey started in agriculture, started about roughly 2 years ago, and we started off with rice input financing. So here we basically started off with financing about 70 to 80%. But that in itself was already quite restrictive from what we experienced and what we saw. We didn't get much traction from that. And now we're actually fully financing 100%. And that means from the machinery, the plowing, the seeds, just everything, right? We work in partnership with fintechs and with agtechs to provide financing through them, right, to the ultimate beneficiaries, who are essentially these farmers at the end of the day, right? Therefore, when you talk about ticket sizes, it can be as low as even 1,000 shillings per farmer for something like Farmer Advance, but it can go all the way up to like 3 million shillings per farmer.
In August, we ran what we are calling Ateca Heat Action Wave, THOW. And this is a $1.1 million program where we are going to support 12 early stage innovations from scratch, from ideation. You don't even have to have a fully baked idea. Now, for those ones, we call for proposals. So they come in once in a while. They are not very common. But from there, we hope to progress with these startups to the next level. Guys who need between 100K, and even for this very early stage, that $100,000 is split 50 capital, 50 TA or capacity building. Because like a gentleman there asked, a lot of them have very good business ideas, but they have no idea what governance is. They have no idea how to deal with a board. They have no idea to do their financials. For some of them, you have to actually do what we call even fractional CFO and fractional CEO. A lot of mentorship and handholding is required at that point.